Welcome to Iris Rainbow Waves. We posted a video of a time traveler from 2033. Apex TV get contacted again from this man, sending a recording answering questions of the community. Here's the recording he sent back. Listen to this and decide for yourself.
It's me, Darryl Dean. I previously sent you a recording that you published, but I have some more shocking things to tell you. I saw that there was a lot of skepticism regarding my story, and I want to say that it is not my goal to convince everyone that I'm telling the truth. I simply want to speak to those of you who will listen. Like I said, I am from the year 2033 and was only planning to be in the year 2018 briefly. However, after a change of plans, I'm going to be in this time until mid-2019, when I'll travel back to the future. Also, for everyone that doesn't believe what I'm saying, you will all see what I'm telling you is going to come true and start unfolding before your eyes. I saw a bunch of questions asking if there are going to be any wars in the future. I can tell you that there will be no major wars, and when the aliens come in 2028, they will actually usher in a state of peace and prosperity. People will realize that they are not so different, and the entire world will unite. In this recording, I want to fill in the gaps for everyone listening about what the future holds. A lot of people asked about religion in the future. All I can say is that there is one major religion in the future that pretty much everyone belongs to, but I can't say exactly what it is, because me saying it could cause a paradox. That's something I wanted to mention also. I can say a lot about the future, but there are certain rules as to how much I can say, and there are actually agencies that monitor to make sure everyone who time travels abides by them. Like I said, time travel was actually released to the public in the year 2028, along with the existence of aliens. A lot of people asked if I could tell about predictions that will happen in the near future to when you're listening to this. I just want to say that what I'm telling you are not predictions. In a way, they are prophecy, because what I'm telling you will happen. But yes, I can tell you what is going to happen in the near future. The most prominent thing I can think of that is going to happen at the end of 2019 is 5G wireless network. This will connect more people than ever, and it will triple the speed of your internet. In 2024, 6G will actually be released, and it is released for free over the entire world. Yes, that means free Wi-Fi in every country, even in remote regions. Like I mentioned before, when I was 15 years old in the year 2021, there is a brain chip released that allows your brain to become 6 times more powerful than it regularly is. People who have these chips are so much smarter than everyone who doesn't have one. The chip can actually connect to the 6G global network that I mentioned, so you can literally get all the world's information in your head at all times. You simply have to think about something, and the answer will come to you. I myself do have a brain chip, but I cannot use it in this time because there is no 6G internet. They require the updated internet because just think about how much information is needed to be transferred. It's simply not possible with any of the internet you have today. I also saw a lot of comments asking about what the biggest problems in the future are. I can say that the single biggest problem in the year 2033 is overpopulation. There are just too many people. It's actually all over the news in the future that the global population is reaching a crisis point. The second biggest problem is global warming. Like I said before, sea levels rise dramatically and people are moving away from coastal cities. I also mentioned that robots were really big in the future, but only talked about how they are used in a lot of fast food restaurants. There are also service robots working in elderly homes, as truck drivers, and so much more. If someone from 2019 were to see what the world in 2033 looked like, they'd be shocked. And I think mostly due to how many robots there are doing what are today human jobs. So many people were concerned that humans were going to be replaced by robots, but that is not at all the case. In fact, these robots have made our lives 1,000 times better in every way. People now work more in creative professions like making movies, writing books, and more. Trust me when I say that living in the future is way better than in 2019. You guys have a lot to look forward to. Speaking of stuff to look forward to, I forgot to mention that in the year 2033, the average human lifespan is around 130 years old. I understand that's a big jump from how long people live right now, and it's due to a number of factors, including gene editing, and more I can't really get into in this time. Another person asked if there are still world leaders in the future. Yes, in fact, there are 10 main world leaders in the year 2033, and a lot of the borders between countries have become dissolved. But these leaders are not leaders in the sense that you would view a leader today. They actually take orders and make decisions based on what an artificial intelligence system tells them to do. This is because this AI is actually way smarter than any one human could be. Then the 10 leaders reflect of this AI's instructions and decide if what it's telling them is the right thing to do. Somebody else asked if humans and AI will live in peace and be equals. This is kinda a funny question looking back from what I know about the future, but I understand your concern. In terms of intelligence, AI is much smarter than any human. But in terms of rights, people and artificial intelligence have the same exact rights and neither is put above the other in any way. They make sure that our legal systems in the future reflect this. I also saw a question asking if people can go to space in the future. Yes, in fact, there are commercial trips you can go on to space, the moon, and Mars. I've never been to space, but I have several friends that have and they say it's amazing. Honestly though, it is pretty expensive and you can pretty much get the same experience using virtual reality in the future. VR is more or less just as realistic as real life in the year 2033. So a lot of times there's not much need for actually traveling because you can do it from the comfort of your own home. Unless, of course, you like physically visiting places. You of course can do that. Along with people visiting and living in space, we also have cities at the bottom of the oceans. This is because overpopulation is such an issue in the future, we are forced to come up with some pretty unique ways of life. I've actually visited one of these underwater cities, and let me tell you that they are absolutely amazing. You ride in a submarine, and it brings you to a gigantic underwater city, complete with everything cities on the surface have. I also saw a lot of people wondering what daily life in the future is like. I'll try to lay out what a typical day consists of for me so you can get an idea what living in the year 2023 is like, because I understand it's hard to believe a lot of what I am saying. I can assure you I'm telling the truth. So my day pretty much always starts with getting woken up by my house robot, which helps me keep my schedule. His name is Alistair, and he basically helps me with everyday chores like doing laundry, dishes, and cleaning my apartment. All the appliances in my house have that AI that I was talking about, so I typically walk over to my fridge and ask for it to prepare a meal. Everything is pretty much voice activated in the year 2033. The fridge then prepares the meal I requested and it comes out this little slot in the front of it. Then after eating breakfast, I give Alistair my dishes and head to my study room. Then I work on creative work, like reading, writing, and creating things. I help write for a bunch of different magazines and that's how I make a living. You're probably thinking that I type the right, but actually in the future, you can just use your brain chip to instantly interface with your computer and typing is 100 times faster this way than using a keyboard. You literally just think what you want to type. Like I said, I like living in the future a lot more than this time period, but I traveled back to this time to meet an old relative that I never got to meet before. I don't want to say exactly where I live in the future, but I can say that it is in a big city. So after writing, I might go for a walk through the city and see a couple friends. I don't own any car, and I just use my brain chip to request a ride if I need to go somewhere far. Then when I get home, I typically just watch a movie using my VR goggles and go to bed. So yeah, life in the future is a lot better in my opinion. I try to answer your questions to the best of my ability, but if you have any more, I will be in 2019 until around August, so be sure to leave a comment and ask, and I'll try to make another recording and send answering more questions. Thanks again. Have a great day, everybody, and hopefully a great future.
What do you think? Is that man an actual time traveler from the year 2033? Be sure to leave your thoughts down in the comments. Subscribe and turn on the notifications so you don't miss our next video. Thank you for listening, Freeriders. We see you in our next video. Bye!